What's going on, guys? JSGC here again, and I'm here for a new little weekly series that I'm going to be trialing, see how it does, but it's just going to be called This Week in Football. Now, we're going to hit straight on with it, and the first thing to have a look at is that because it's been the international break, we're going to have a look at the international football. Now, surprisingly, England have had a couple of matches that have been played or are playing. I think they're playing today and they're playing again, and they played last Friday or Saturday. I don't know who follows international football these days with friendlies. They're just so boring. But England managed to stump out an amazing 0-0 draw with Germany, which was full of chances, nice flowing football. It was full of entertainment. Everyone just couldn't wait to just watch the game. I mean, I only watched the second half, fell asleep by the 80th minute. Amazing. And they've added to that by having a couple of matches in March. Check this out, they've got a match at the Amsterdam Arena against the Netherlands, who haven't qualified for the World Cup, and against Italy, who also haven't qualified for the World Cup. Amazing. You know, if you get your calendars for next year, make sure you write them in. Matches to be looking forward to. We're going to have to start a countdown, I think, for that one. Jesus Christ, man. We've got Brazil as well today. I mean, what's the point? I mean, just, what is the point? Anyway, more with international football, and you hear me just mention there that Italy haven't qualified for the World Cup, and they haven't qualified for the World Cup. They lost in Sweden 1-0, and they played in Milan at the San Siro yesterday and drew 0-0. Wow. Italy, for the first time since 1958, haven't qualified for a World Cup. Amazing. That is a big shock. Gianluigi Buffon was looking for his record six World Cup, and it hasn't happened because they've not qualified. Mainly because of, you know, Gabbiadini playing up front. Maybe that's where it's gone wrong. I mean, they've gone from having like Totti, Del Piero, Pirlo, Gattuso, players like that, to having Gabbiadini lead your line. That's where it's gone wrong in Italy, going through a little crisis of not having very good players. But it's not an excuse to not be qualifying for the World Cup, because there's still an abundance of quality in their side. The manager apparently resigned. I read yesterday that he was resigning. I read this morning that he hasn't resigned. I don't know if he's resigned or not. I mean, if he hasn't resigned, I'd just sack him. I mean, you know, you haven't done your job. But amazing, well done Sweden. More international football to get on with. Northern Ireland have failed to qualify for the World Cup. It's so unlucky. You know, I was really hoping that they would. I don't just want to be the one home nation that is at the World Cup. It's a little bit boring. It'd be nice to have had Northern Ireland there, but unfortunately they couldn't overcome their controversial handball that it was in Belfast, which just wasn't handball, let's just face it. You know, it's just horrible. I think it was Corey Evans got penalised for it. Ridiculous. And they couldn't overcome it in Switzerland, so unfortunately they have headed out. But, you know, better luck next time, Northern Ireland. They are on the up. But we've got the other island, Republic of Ireland, there in action tonight, so we'll have to keep an eye on if they end up qualifying for the World Cup or not. Otherwise, it's just going to be lonely old England going out in the group stage, you'd imagine. There you go. Now moving on, they've had League One, League Two conference matches that have been playing this week. I don't want to go over all that. I mean, you know, Google it. But one bit that has taken my notice, which really made me laugh, is Blackpool's owners, the Oystons. If you don't know about them, I'll give you a little bit of a backstory. They got the club to the Premier League under funding from some Latvian man whose name I cannot say. There you go. But they've funded Blackpool like an investor, got them to the Premier League, and he was due some dollar. But they got the Premier League money. Unfortunately, they were relegated. What year was this? 2011 or 2012? Around that time, they were relegated, and then they ended up crashing through the leagues. Ended up going down to League Two due to the mismanagement of the owners. Not invested in a single penny. They took the Premier League money, the parachute payments, put it in the back pocket, invested nothing in the club, cut costs everywhere, not funded the club, to a point that fans have taken up protesting, not going. They've gone from having gates of like 15,000, 16,000 in the Premier League to having 1,000 or 2,000 there now, under a big protest because they don't like the owners and they want the owners gone, you know. Arsehole owners, there you go. But they've got promoted last season. I think they're starting to look up for Blackpool at last, actually. They're not doing too bad in League One. And it's been in court. The Latvian investor that I mentioned before, he's won his case. They've won and Oystons have to pay out the family £32 million. Now, I'm fairly sure they've already got £32 million, but they're not got one to pay that. So what they want to do is scrunch Blackpool up, and they put them up for sale, sell them, then give him his money like that. You know, hooray for Blackpool. But I think the one point is that if no one wants to buy Blackpool, then they're going to cut costs like anything, and Blackpool could end up slumping down again, which would be unfortunate, because you don't want to see that happen to any club, even if you don't like them. So, you know, it's a tricky one. But, more with the owners, they were meant to be in charge. An EFL referee, the English Football League referee, Ben Toner, his name is, Bentoner, Ben Toner. He was meant to be in charge of their match at the weekend. However, they feared that Blackpool fans would be protesting because his name sounded like Bent Owner, like their owners are. Incredible. I love football. Amazing. But I'm expecting that there'll be some international sackings coming up along the way. And now I've probably missed an abundance of things that have happened, but this is just things that have happened over the last few days. So I'll probably be back next week for more football-related stuff. I'll be covering stuff that will be serious, the sackings, the declines of clubs or the rise of clubs, all the football news, people leaving, etc, etc. All the funny stuff as well, it'll all be covered in here. So don't forget, if you do like the video, to leave a big thumbs up, so I know you like the video. And don't forget to remain subscribed, or subscribe if you haven't already, because there'll be more content going up, and I'll be talking a little bit more about more football videos along the way. So I'll see you for that. It's been JSGC. Peace. Ciao for now.